need to be prepared. The points which have to be done I have included in the thing. What all points need to be included in faculty and staff handbook, because it's a non-teaching staff also need to be included. So those service rules, the employment process, the promotion, probation, termination, all those things, leave, along with leave, we need to prepare one that is not there. We need to prepare those things. Student handbook, which is a regular feature of us, we are doing it, that we need to do. And then service rules need to be, after we prepare the book, the rules have to also be published in the official website itself, so that also we need to do. We need to prepare policies which are not there. Research we have done recently for the NAT purpose and GB where we have got it approved. The same way we need to get it approved, the policies, finance policy, IT policy, library, admission policy, placement policies, like international collaboration policy, examination policy, anti-sexual harassment policy, health and fitness policy, HR and administrative. These are the different policies that we need to make and get it approved in the body, governing body. So we don't have these things, we need to prepare it. And then in the same point, we also need to prepare 5-year strategic plan which carries 5 marks. 2 years already we have existing one, and 3 years we have to project for the future. So this plan we need to prepare, taking into account certain areas they are mentioned, taking from all the colleges. I have given certain areas where we can go about doing the strategic plan. Research, industry connect, management development center, that's MDP is what we have. So from admission point of view, we have to have a strategic plan. International collaboration, technology enabled learning, curriculum, student reach, student participation, achievements, mentorship, employability skill enhancement, student exchange program, consultancy, rankings and accreditation, then online courses, training programs, virtual classrooms, that is webinars, then membership, what we are planning, youth development or skill building workshops, if we want to go for rural immersion programs, collaboration with NGOs, then there are some colleges which have Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship, what exactly we have planned for future. Then they also have Center for Sustainability and Public Policy. Okay, maybe they have MA, maybe they are doing that. And then, health. So these are the areas most of the colleges have focused when they are writing the strategic plan. So we can also try to take and then do the strategic plan for the coming 3 years. Like they have given like plan of action for strategic plan, like what is a goal. We need to not only tell that this is what it is, but also we also have to mention the plan of action for achieving the strategic whatever we plan for. The goal, what it is, for every goal, what is the plan of action, what is the timeline that we are giving and how we are implementing. And then progress, the gap we need to find and how we are going to go about every year. So this is how they are mentioned in the table form. So this is how we have to go about doing the plan and implementation of the same. To create the mechanism for grievance redressal, we have a grievance redressal for the examination. We have a student grievance that has to be properly recorded, the composition and the action taken report has to be done. Then transparency they asked related to the policies how we are. We have to see that the manuals are available, the handbooks are available. In the college website too, certain rules, policies have to be presented in the website too for transparency. And how we are disseminating using the handbooks and newsletters or any letters, we have to disseminate the information for the external stakeholders. That we need to do. Selection process for different positions need to be prepared and they need to be documented. We are following some selection process, we are having the points in, but that need to be recorded properly for every faculty who enters. So there should be some standard norms the committee members who are involved in the selection process and how they are selected, what are the criteria, and the points have to be, the record should be there. And then stability of academic leaders to be for the top and senior level position, the retention ratio we need to prepare. These are not there, we need to prepare these things. So whatever I have explained to you, it's related to governance and leadership. I have done 60 marks. These things I felt we need to prepare. So most of the things we have to do, we have to prepare it. Now coming to the finance part, financial resources. We need to document the budget formulation, finalization and approval process. We need to have a process how to go about it. So we need to prepare every year the budget and how it is being finalized and then how it is being approved. Then we have to prepare documents on how much is required, how much has been allocated, was it adequate last year, and then what is the justification for it. These things have to have a record of the things. Then each department, as is a one department, we have to prepare those things. Spent, like we need, there's a tableau form, a ready-made form that is being given to us. So we need to prepare in that. How much it is allocated, how we spent, whether it was adequate, and then why it was not adequate, what was the reasons. We have to give a justification for every component that is being mentioned. And these things have to be audited too. That we need. Once we prepare, we need to get it audited. So the budget allocation for 3 years need to be prepared, 3 financial statements, and these have to be uploaded in the website. The list of committees, this is what we need to do. Almost everything, whatever they ask the questions, we have to do. There is no record of that. We need to prepare and then maintain it further. And then under this particular criteria, the list of committees, there are many committees that they have mentioned. So I've just put down the committee names, Father. There are many. Should I read out, Father? Statutory bodies, governing body, academic council, finance committee, BOS. They have another one which is called as board of management. They have a local management committee. That is where the director, dean and VC, according to the university, I think they have that. Purchase committee, area advisory committee, faculty council, that is staff. Then there is a separate advisory board where corporate leaders, industry people are part of it. Only the corporate leaders are there. From the industry perspective, they will be giving. Then research committee, alumni committee, admission committee, examination committee, library committee, discipline committee, anti-ragging committee, sexual harassment committee or internal complaint committee, ICC, student activity committee, placement committee, editorial committee, entrepreneurship committee, student council, IT committee, safety and security committee, PR and media relations, website committee, planning and general administration committee, NIRF, NBA, AICT, ranking and other compliance committee, and Apex committee or a core or IPAC. Then we have academic area chairs committees where finance, marketing, HR, IT, operations, general management. These are different academic areas they have taken. Clubs, as per specialization they have mentioned, marketing club, IT club, human values club, economics and finance club, HR club, sports club, CSR cell. Then we have literature or theatre club, media relations club, career management center. Then instead of just mentioning placement, some of them mentioned as placement, SIP and corporate relations committee. Then student affair and welfare committee. MDP consultancy and executive education committee. International relations committee. Reservation cell, equal opportunity cell, anti-ragging cell.
Leadership 2.1.1, that clarity you put it on paper and then give it, so that we have to start working on that.
Okay, fine.
Even these committees, list if you can give me,
Fine.
we can finalize maybe by tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Okay, fine.
Before end of this week, we will be able to, it's already late, but nevertheless, even policies and other things.
Along with the faculty committee, student committees are also there, the clubs father. For that, they are assigned the faculty also for that.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Criteria 2 also is good. I am satisfied with the thing that is supposed to be explained.
Father, criteria 4 is mine, father, but Smriti ma'am and then Kalyan sir have done that. I did not go through still. Yeah, but I feel that still clarity should be there. That is what. If she can present, I will see her
No.
presentation.
Yeah.
And then, because I could not go through it because I was working on this.
What is Kalyan, sir?
So, it's in IBM session.
Oh. That is criteria 4. Huh?
4.
Alumni committee, how many marks? 5 0, huh?
Good evening, Father and my dear colleagues. Coming to criteria 4, we have made plan of action in such a way where we have identified areas where, according to the gap, we have mentioned what is the action that we can take, and in order that our action gets filled, what is the committee that we need to have, or if the committee is existing, how to go about. So coming to the first thing, which is about 4.1.1, it is the process of designing the program curriculum, which is 10 marks, under which we have the first point is with respect to IQAC. So for PG, we do not have a separate IQAC cell which is there. So we have to form an IQAC cell for exclusively for PG.
What is the total marks for this criteria? For entire 4 criteria? It's okay. You're not sure. Tell me later. Just
150, 154. Coming to the next one, which is the minutes of the meeting. We usually have the minutes of the meeting which is done, but there has to be a proper structured way in which it has to be done. When we were going through the SSR, where we have observed that they have also taken into consideration if there are any subject experts who are there, what are their viewpoints and what have they suggested, and whether they are incorporated or not. So usually in our BOS meetings that we have, we usually record the members who are present, what are the suggestions which have been implemented and how they are being done. So the coming to minutes, we have the course curriculum committee coordinators who have to look into it, so that we know what are the changes that are being suggested.
You can even add all other committee members to have minutes. All committees can have a book for their minutes.
Okay, fine.
You can add that. All committees can have minutes. So that everything is recorded.
Yes.
Even if they meet internally or if they meet with principal or among themselves. Yeah.
Next area is with respect to faculty who need to participate into various workshops and seminars so that they can get the information about how curriculum is designed. So that is for which we can have the specific course coordinators can be one of them. Even if guest lecture committee which is there can help us apart from the students guest lecture that we have, so that they can motivate the faculty or just give information to the faculty so as to attend the workshop. Next is with respect to the activities or the events. In that areas where we have academic calendar framing, course curriculum revision, planning for orientation program, framing timetable, student handbook updation, addition of cases, article, books, pedagogy enhancement, like guest lecture, workshop on software and database, and academic conferences, and the last one is industrial visit. For all these particular activities, we have, say for example, academic calendar framing, we can get, or we have to have the all the years calendar, which we can get it from COE, Controller of Examination, that is basically our almanac. Then for course curriculum revision from course coordinators, so that they will just tell us year-wise what are the revisions that have taken place. Then next, with respect to planning for orientation, we can have the information from the orientation committee, since we have the orientation for the students, so that can also be a part of it. And curriculum also, as course coordinators and class teachers, they usually brief the students. Framing timetable, we have timetable committee from where we can get the information. Student handbook with the updation, what are the changes, what are the new committees which are formed, who are the student coordinators, faculty coordinators, year-wise we can have that particular data. Addition of new cases, articles and books, since we have started for MBA from this particular academic year, so we also can maintain them, we can have one set in the library, so library committee also can give us the information. Next is with respect to pedagogy enhancement, we can have it again from each faculty, they can maintain their own faculty file where we can have what are the different ways in which they are using the different teaching methods, that also would be fine. Guest lecture, workshop on software and database, so we can also have this from guest lecture committee as well as from our, with respect to from lab, we can just know what are the various softwares that are being used, database that is being used. And the next one, which is academic conferences, FDP research. So from that we get to know what are the conferences that have been organized, how it has been done. So industrial visit. So industrial visit committee will just tell us how to go about and how they have done the visit, how it was beneficial. So now as we are trying to see that the students get the practical exposure. So this is what is with respect to the activities. Coming to the next one, which is the feedback on curriculum designing and revision from faculty, industry and students. This we usually take, but we do not have it in a structured way. So if we have a structured format for a feedback, so that the information is available to us at any time when it is required. So if we have the student course coordinators and faculty curriculum review committee along with industry placement cell, because for students we can get it from the class in charges or the curriculum review committee and faculty who are there. But for industry and from the for industry we need to have somebody who have where they usually come for either placements or for some guest lecture where we can just take few inputs with respect to how the curriculum is. The next one is with respect to curriculum gaps. So we have to work on this particular area. So we will be getting the curriculum gaps which will be identified by in charges of criteria 3, so that we will know how to go about and how to fill the gap. Next is with respect to 4.1.2, which is structure of curriculum, which is 10 marks. Under that we have for LTP, hours to be included, which is we usually write in our course structure, but we should see that in our TLP also we should include how much is it for our lecture, how much is for tutorial and the practical. So that has to be incorporated. Next is with respect to social internship, that is about MOUs and NGO and other tie-ups. So we have to ensure that we have a good number of NGOs and associations with tie-up with JCI. So we can have for like NSIC and or MSME can help us with respect to the MOU or the tie-ups or training programs, that is from ED cell, we can get that particular information. Next is with respect to components of the curriculum, where the contact hours, we have not, we have to include contact hours. So this we can get information from our curriculum committee, how much should be the contact hours. Last one, which is the 4.1.1, which is overall quality and level of program curriculum. Under that we have the faculty meetings. We have meetings, but we have to maintain a proper record of it. With what is the agenda, how are we doing? So we can have one faculty who can be assigned so as to see that the minutes are recorded properly and it is for our ready reference. Next is the student feedback. This also has to be done and again in a structured and a formal way. So we can have for student feedback class in charges, if they can give us, that would be good. IQSC meeting, so for this we have to first set up the IQSC cell and then we can have again the record of the meeting properly. New courses identification and the current course which is there. Usually during our BOS we just think about what are the new courses that have been added. So when we have a discussion, it is the course coordinators and the curriculum review committee that sits together so that identify what are the courses and why are we included or why are we thought about a new course. We should have the reasons so as to substantiate, so that can also be reflected in our minutes which are there. Course review is the same one like in the BS minutes. How do we try to incorporate? Course content. Course content we usually try to see if it is something which is the need of the industry, something which has a new trend. So we try to incorporate. So if it is incorporated, why it is incorporated? Because once we incorporate, we have to tell the students what is the reason. So we can have this particular information when we have discussion again with the curriculum review committee. Gap action plan, again we have to get this information from criteria 3 about how we have to identify what is the gap which has been identified, how do we try to see whether C or P are not matching, how to accomplish that particular gap. SBT is the next thing. For SBT, we have to have again a proper record that has to be done. SBT by individual subject faculty, whatever subjects they are handling, and if it is related to, if you are giving SBT about on ED, where you might ask them to attend a workshop or a webinar also, how do you try to evaluate the students? So for which you have to maintain a record. Next is the Area Advisory Committee and Faculty Council. So for which you are required to carry out curriculum assessment to improve the quality and the effectiveness, ensure PO attainment is reached and suggest the changes and proper documentation is required. Again we have to see this proper alignment, so we can get from our core committee or the curriculum review committee. Under 4.1.1 we had sub-criteria which was 4.1.1, 2, 3, 4. Coming to the next one, which is 4.2.1. It is the process followed to improve the quality of teaching and learning, which is for 20 marks. Under that, the first thing is the course handout. This particular handout we have been doing, we usually give it to the students. Again, the problem comes where we have to record, where we have to show it at a future point of time. So for which each individual faculty, subject faculty have to ensure that they have a proper record so that we have the academic calendar and the syllabus which goes to the exam branch, and this we can get it from our course coordinators because syllabus and academic calendar, I think they also would be having. Next is slow learners. As we have already identified, say suppose in a class, who are the different categories of learners? Slow or very fast learners. So what are the assignments that we are giving? We are actually doing, but we are still not having a record of it. So we have to see that we have to maintain the record. So this again, respective subject faculty has to do it, and also the mentors who have been allotted. Discussion rooms. So we have to have a separate discussion room in our college so that the students can sit together, discuss about their class, what they have, maybe they have some particular discussion or a GD which is given. So we should have in a college premises a room where the students can have or can use for carrying out the discussion. Next is the mentor system. Since we have already thought about having a mentoring system, so we should have mentors, we should identify what are we expected to do for mentors. So for mentoring, we have to have a structured format in which the mentoring process would go on. Ensure that we have a particular hour in our timetable for mentoring. That is what we have to still do it. Book bank scheme, which we have still to, maybe it was there earlier, now we have to ensure that it is done again so that the students can benefit. So we can get the information, or we can just inform our library committee to look into it. Then LMS, which has to be introduced, like Moodle, which is there, so we can have our IT committee or somebody who is good in this particular area who can help us with this. So that has to also be followed up and done. 4.2.2 is quality of continuous assessment and evaluation. This is for 40 marks, under which we have the student feedback on the facilities, teaching, and also the courses offered in the curriculum. We usually take few ideas, few suggestions from the students. How did you feel this particular topic or the subject was? How did you feel the course was? So about the basic facilities. So we can have the information from class in charges. We can also take from our alumni committee, and we can also have our quality assurance cell, IQSC, which is there. Performance of students in tests and quizzes to be recorded and must be given. This also we are actually doing, every faculty is doing, so we need to have a record. How are we trying to assess the students' abilities, whether in SBT are we giving a test, quiz that has to be done by respective subject faculty. Question paper setting and evaluation to be done as our pattern of OBE, that has to be done, and that particular information or how to go about can be done with the help of COE. Again, we have feedback from the students regarding courses, facility and teaching. Again, it has to be structured, taken it properly so that we can record. So again, we can have the respective class in charges or the faculty who have been assigned a set of feedback committee that has to look into. Next is 4.2.3, which is quality of student report or dissertation, under which we have the industry experts. How we have already introduced, we have called the last year we have called the academicians for giving inputs about the project. So we can have now industries experts who would be coming. So this would be taken care by project committee. So they have to ensure that from this academic year, if we can have industry also involved, that would be an added advantage. And the best project, so we have to also try to identify the student who has done the project very well, and we can also recognize their credit on a particular annual day or something, so that we can do that. that also project committee should be in a situation to identify which student has done a best project. Coming to internship evaluations to be modified. So we have started internship for this particular academic year for students in MBA curriculum that they would be given credits. So this also has to be taken into consideration, for which we have our curriculum design committee and BOS which ratifies it. Then we have the internship. We have to identify how this particular internship is contributing to the society. So how every student has a guide who is being allotted, how that particular internship is useful to them. Next is the feedback of guide from the industry, how the student has done their project, how it is, are they able to relate to the project with the industry requirement that has to be done. So we have identified what are the committees that have to be formed and the committees that are already existing. So we require the first one to have IQAC for PG, and we have to have either curriculum review committee or structuring or restructuring committee, because most of the things which is the criteria itself talks about curriculum. So we require curriculum review committee, and the committees which are already existing or they are already involved is the guest lecture committee, project committee, course coordinators is one, orientation, timetable, library, research, class in charges are also there. Criteria 3 in charges because for the gap analysis, the COPO detail, mapping, exam branch and the respective subject faculty. The entire curriculum criteria requires all these individuals who have to be there, these members, whether it's the subject faculty or the committee members who have to be there. After this is the gist of this.
Is also inclusive of what Kalyan sir has done?
Yes, madam.
Entire.
Yeah, Smriti has done this. We sent to Kalyan. Kalyan has incorporated that, all the changes, and then we are done. I did not go through that further. Actually, I could not get time.
Good work.
Thank you.
She did maximum of others.
It's
Smriti only
clear.
did.
It's clear.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, now 1, 2, 9 and 4 are over. Next.
Father, criteria 5 I can present father.
Huh?
నేను చేశాను సార్ ప్లాన్ ఆఫ్ యాక్షన్ క్రైటీరియా 5
చెప్పండి.
చెప్పాలా
Because they said that most of them did not prepare PPT, right? Even if it is Word document, you can forward, take a printout and then sign and give.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I thought for explaining purpose, you all might have gone with PPT, I thought. Since you have not done, it's okay.
Good evening, Father. Good evening, dear friends. We did not sit together, Father, but we have done the plan of action. This is where we are talking about the
If
students.
you sit together, brainstorming happens.
Yeah.
Please after this, sit and then finalize and give me a copy.
Yes, Father. This is regarding student quality and performance. In this, we have right from the admission to the their performance, academic performance, and also the research and
What is the
everything.
total marks?
100 marks, Father. This is where first one starts with the enrollment ratio. This is where, see, in the enrollment ratio, we have the categorization like male, female and all these things. See, what we can do here is, see, convener quota, we cannot do anything as such. But for the management quota here, what we can do is, in this more marks are given if the students is diversified from the different state.
Criteria 5.
Yes,
Total marks?
100. Student diversified is given more management quota, anyway we cannot do. But for admissions, what we can do is when the students are coming for the applying for the application form, we can maintain a register and write there like how many are from Telangana state, Andhra Pradesh, we can do that part. Then also when the students are coming up with the experience to join an MBA, more marks are given to that. So when so what we can do is when all the application forms, we can see that register and we can give the admission to those students. Those are from different states and having the experience. There we can score more marks. So management quota we can do that part. Management quota we can do that part. for this one, for the 5.1 enrollment ratio we can do so that we can get more marks here. And next 5.2, and next in 5.2 where we are talking about the success ratio. Success ratio is where we are talking about how many students within less time. I mean, for example, if MBA is 2 years, right? Their qualifying time period is 2 years, right? So this what we can do is if some students are failing in few subjects, that means they are not able to have the success ratio. See, we thought of having the mentor system. So every faculty will get 10 students. So once they are done with their first internal, we can see how many are, how the students are performing in the first internal. Basing on that, what we can do, that particular subject faculty, if this particular mentor informs to that so many students are not performing, overall assessment we can take and inform the subject faculty. Subject faculty may take few more classes or help the students to problem statistics paper, right, MR paper, BR paper, all these papers. So after the first internals, we can improve the performance of the students so that the success ratio of the students will come in on time. So mentorship will definitely help us. If not mentorship, the class in charge, overall assessment after the first internal, how many passed in, how many subjects, how many students failed. Even anyway we are doing the bridge course is for the beginning. So even we can have for the internal assessment after first internal, second internal, we can have to improve the success ratio of the students. This is for 5.2. Then next we have the academic performance. Here also mentorship, this is where we are calculating the percentage after this. So here we can go with the examination branch. We can take the external marks, right? After the external, how they are performing, that we can see and give them few more classes on that, and we can improve the performance, because a good academic performance will give us more marks. So after the external, if we can go to the examination branch, we can collect the information from there, maintain separate class in charges can do this particular part where we can increase the academic performance. Then next 5.4 is where here we are getting the highest points, that is the 40 points we are getting. Here we have placements, higher studies and entrepreneurship. Already when we were discussing, we were thinking about this higher studies, right, to conduct some classes, the students those who are interested in pursuing the higher classes, and also to go for some books in the library, right. If we can frame one committee for this, with the faculty those who have done with their UGC NET, UGC SET or PhD, so that this particular committee can assist the students in going for the higher education. They can already, we are doing it, only the thing is that we have to go for the documentation of this. And placements, anyway we have a very good placement cell, but still lot of documentation has to be done with the placements. And if we get the international placement, few students if you are there interested, and for this higher education also, if we have the international placements, international education, where we can score for the higher marks. So for this we can have a separate faculty committee for this higher education. And after this higher education,
ma'am, can you elaborate it? Higher education, you mean to say that you provide assistance, or
we will provide the assistance, we will help the students. Already we are doing
Counseling.
yes, for the UGC NET, SET or student for these. Yes, already we are telling them which books to follow, specifically we are telling them, but we are not documenting it. As the class in charges, whenever the students are coming and approaching us, so what we can do is, the faculty have qualified this, we can form one committee with this. So that we can have the list of students and we can divide according to our specialization, we can divide and we can go for the classes. That part we can do. And this is the 40 marks, this particular section is for 40 marks. So we can do more work on this. Placements, international placements also we can work. And entrepreneurship, already we are working very hard on this, planning for the incubation center, and at least we should get 2 startups from the students this time. And next is professional activities. This is where we are talking about the participation by the students in the professional bodies, like already we are HMA, CIA, all these things are there. We should motivate the students for that. And next thing is that we are here, they are mainly focusing on student research publications. Students are already doing it. Some of us faculty are also helping them to go. But lot of work has to be done on this. Right? We can write the papers. Probably, most probably, we can have a student research committee here. Right? Making the students those who are interested, 4 or 5 students, because already we have as faculty. So So what we can have here is student research committee, right? We can form a committee with the students, those who are interested in the research, and we can motivate, and in fact these students can motivate the other students. So here we can have student research committee also here. So this is the last one, and so what we can do is, one is where we have to maintain the separate files for the administrative also. This is where admission in the students are right now, we have the opportunity to maintain this actually, because now the admissions of MBA and other things are going on. So we can maintain a separate register, like whether they are with the experience. So this is what my planning is for. These are the committees which we have to maintain and the files which we have to maintain.
Actually, we are collecting this data, whatever we require from the student.
Class in charges are collecting the data, but we can already we are having this option in register as well. Once if we include these points in admission form as well, we will be getting clear idea. So we are working on collection of data as well. I've already collected the data from Martina ma'am, Kalyan sir, and Lalita ma'am. So documentation is required. This is almost all the things we are doing. We need to speed it up and we need to document it. And whatever the student data we are having, we need to put it together, and placement data whatever we are having, we need to put it together along with the organization, where they have placed and what is the salary, and with the offer letters. I think for the NAC purpose we have done this also.
An internship and placement should go together. It should be at one place. Like yes, he has done in the third semester, he has done the internship. Fourth semester, he has done the project. These are the two companies. This is their offer letter. So both should go in hand in hand.
All these things you put it on paper or oral?
No, put it on this sir, father. Yes. We have already done, but I have done, but not discussed with you.
Give me a copy of it.
Yes.
Next criteria.
Good afternoon, Father. Good afternoon, my dear colleagues. So this is the sixth criteria, that is faculty attributes and contributions, which carries 220 marks. So when we were doing the work, actually 6.1 talks about the student-faculty ratio. And Father, for this we have done from 1819, 1920, we have taken the data and we have practically done it. So if for the current assessment year, that is CAY has to be defined or redefined, then the calculations either 17-18 we have to do or 20-21 we have to do. So that we have done for 18-19, 19-20 also we have done. So 100%, so the ratio it is very much ready, and there is nothing to be done in 6.1 unless and until if the CAY, that is current assessment year, it has to be defined. If 17 and 18 we are taking, that has to be done. So we have taken 180 students intake as per the intake, seniors, junior, and totally it was 293 students which we have calculated the ratio also. It is there on the slides during our presentation. Okay, and 6.1.1, it is with regard to the regular and contractual faculty. So here since during the presentation day we thought of discussing with Father the contractual faculty, and the ratio is 1:2:4, and the faculty, the list of faculty was taken up from the annual reports. The annual reports we took at as a base, and then we have done it, and there are some loopholes, and we thought of discussing since there are some sensitive issues, so we thought of discussing with Father and then finalizing the list and all. So that is there, Father, as far as 6.1.1 is concerned. And then 6.2, that is a faculty cadre which carries 20 marks, that is 1:2:4. So regarding the assistant professors, and if we are taking 17 and 18, so there is some point where we will be lagging as far as the professors are concerned, Father. So if you are not considering that, then we will be on a safer side. So that point has to be noted. So if it is for the 2021 and all, not an issue. So there is one point to be noted. And for faculty qualification, which carries 15 marks, the faculty joining the first year. So from the list, we have to exclude that exercise has to be done, Father. From the given list, which faculty is joining for the first year, that faculty should not be considered. If you are not considering that faculty, and there is a 100% chance that this will affect the ratio of 1:2:4. So during that year, if you are not taking the first year faculty, so the assistant professors are going to get affected. So during that year, as far as the associates are concerned, there will be no problem. 17-18 professors, there will be a problem. And if that first year faculty we are not, if they are not considered, there is a problem. We can expect a problem there. So that again, the list has to be, again we have taken it from the annual report. So 23 faculty, 25 faculty are there, and provided these 23 faculty and 25 faculty exclusively we are showing for the PG. And 6.3 faculty qualification, which carries 15 marks, it is done. And 6.4, that is a faculty retention. So this, the working has been done, Father, from 1819, 1920 also we have done. So when we sit, we will, the calculations are there, we will discuss, Father. And the major part here, the problem starts now. So it is 6.5. The 6.5 tells about the faculty initiatives on teaching and learning process. So the innovations done by the faculty members, as when we have seen a comparative study of 4 different colleges, including St. Joseph's, that is 5 colleges. So we thought of taking the summation as per that day when the discussion was going on. Liberal colleges as divided into 3 key component areas or the key resultant areas. So and what the practices we are adopting at St. Joseph's also, we have done it. But in connection, what all the other 4 colleges which are extra are there, Father said that it has to be included. So we have kept it on a red, Father, what has to be done. So I will give it to you on paper. It is red. So and these TLP, and one more thing, to create a proper TLP document which covers the timetable, class, topic, teaching pedagogy with the photos and all, it has to be done for each and every subject, it has to be done. And these has to go to the institution website. So that this particular, so that means that there is a correlation that between that when some XYZ is given, that paper when they are documenting for 17 and 18, so that the course has to be reflected. If suppose XYZ R Anita is there, R Anita paper should go to 17 and 18 HR. We are allocating, the same has to be replicated in the website too. So this TLP process regarding the timetable, in the timetable also it has to be reflected that HRM section A or B, if sections are there, the same thing has to be done. So that cross checking has to be done not only from the criteria 6, but it has to be done from the timetable, it has to be done from COPO mapping 3, so all integration should go on there.
For this we need to sit with criteria 3 people and come up with a format. Criteria 4 also we need to integrate further for these things. And so far we are including the links in TLP. But as per the norms, they say that even the methodology that we use, that should be available in website also. So for this, we need to sit with the website committee and keep updating about what the teaching methodologies are the faculty using with respect to each and every course.
That is from the 6.5.
Faculty performance appraisal and development system 6.6. So here a format has to be done, performance appraisal needs to be done. A format has to be, when we have seen 4 different colleges and we have excluded independently, we have done for the St. Joseph, but the integration part of has to be done. What is good in other colleges, it has to be integrated, and we have to come out with a capsule format that this is the performance appraisal system exclusively for the Department of Business Management. So that work has to be done, Father.
Father, you have instructed Shiva sir to come up with a plan, format. So Shiva sir is right now working on this, Father. So he will be coming up with the format by integrating all the different 4 colleges.
Okay. And coming to 6.7, this is with regard to the visiting faculty. and or the adjunct faculty. So, and we have to sit with the father, that is at a minimum 50 hours per interaction. So this has to be again integrated with the industry committee, that is in the college 20% will be done by the industry academia committee. So that committee, we have to sit with father and what, who all faculty we are calling and the number of duration. So that we have to work on father. So that format has to be prepared, whom we have to call. And from which university or from which colleges, that has to be decided.
From the last discussions, we have decided, we have thought about Mario David sir, so that we can have him for 50 hours at a stretch per year. Like that, he can do different sessions, different subjects also he can cover. But the main thing is, he has to come to our college for 50 documented hours. If he is doing that, then we can show him as a faculty.
Again, the same thing has to go to the website too.
Yes, it has to be updated in the website.
So there is the sensitivity, and then we have 6.7 6.7 IPA 10 marks. 6.8 is the academic research. That is 75 marks. So since here we are working hard here to publish, so it's an appeal since in the 2021 we have done it for the 1920. Again, the faculty need to work hard on this unless and until the cell can represent, if you are working, the number will increase. It is not in one hand. So that has to be understood by each and every faculty, and the number we have to work on, because solid 75 marks are there. So all of us has to put the hands together, then only the 75 marks outrightly we can get it. So that is an appeal from the cell, please do so.
Is there any benchmark that each faculty has to contribute this many papers to conferences?
As per last presentation, I told each faculty should contribute minimum 8 research, whether it is workshop, whether it is national conference or international conference, whether it is a journal article or scopus article, minimum contribution towards research cell, it should be 8. Then only we can reach the target.
And ma'am,
8 per year.
8 per faculty.
8 per faculty, and that
Attending or organizing?
Organizing.
bifurcation is bifurcation ఏంటి అంటే journals, no?
And editing of journals also has.
Ma'am, one second, I'll give you the bifurcation. It is there. It is in journals. It can be in reputed conferences. It can be in books. It can be the book chapters, case studies, or any other public domain where it can be published. FDPs కానీ, FDPs కానీ, STTPs కానీ, workshops కానీ, ఇవన్నీ కూడా, I mean, if you can't say that I have written a paper and then I have done, no. So the academic research is a one wherein it is a summation of FDP, workshop, STTP, conference, edited books, chapters, ISBN, ISSN, ఇవన్నీ చేస్తేనే academic research అంటాం. So we need to work not only in writing the paper but also in all the activities. So that's the reason we have taken the Atal thing also, father, and everybody are doing it. But there is some up and downs are going on with regard adjustment of timing, and most of them have submitted the certificates also. So from that FDP point of view, we are doing it. Since it's an AICT sponsored one, we have a higher edge there. Adopati. Next.
This carries 75 marks. MBA is more bothered about academic research because if the faculty are not continuously improving themselves, they are worried about student standards. So this criteria is number one criteria that they are bothered. So please be clear.
Next one is the sponsored research. 6.9 here we are lacking, and since an attempts are going on to submit the proposals, like recently we got off SEMA, and after the completion of SEMA, in the plan of action as per the discussion with father, we have an AICT one, and yesterday evening also one more project of IMA with better children, Adi. So one after the other we have to crack it, and we have to see that these are in our hands. Something in the 2021 we will have a weightage. So that has to be done for the sponsored research.
All the faculty who are newly registered for PhDs, if you can apply for some sort of scholarship or NET scholarship or JRS scholarship or something like that, this will also be counted as a sponsorship for our college only. So I request all the faculty who are pursuing PhD, please apply for some scholarships or stipends. There are many.
Even this research funds are also eligible.
Yes, ma'am. Research fund also.
Yeah, it's not PhD holders. Okay?
Yes.
For everybody,
Research
for all the scholars. And one more thing, those who are pursuing already in the starting the budding stage of their PhDs, better write the articles along with the titles of your research. So in allied areas rather in allied areas. So if you are it adds dual. It adds for your personal development. It adds to the institutional development. So two things are there in that. So that has to be taken. Sponsored research, and the last one is 6.10, again development of cases. So this is at the budding stage once again. So whatever we need to do, we have to develop the cases and then we have to submit it to the case centers. And when we went for the Wellinger, we spoke with that ma'am also, Bangalore. So they have a case center. What they said that, what she said is, if you have the cases, you please send it to us. We will modify it and then we'll see to it that it will be published. So that process has been done, but the initiative has to be taken up from us to write the cases. Yes, ma'am. Well, Bangalore ko na undi inko branch.
Ma'am, in this connection, at least one workshop, like for example, Martin sir has written many cases and he published in Economic Times. ET Law. So at least a class from him will give an insight like more to it.
At least already ma'am, already we have done with the presentations, but if it is required from the department, once again we don't mind, all will put our hands, Martin sir Gandhi, main Gandhi, father is also from the IIM, father are also taken, so all of us will give you one more input. We are ready from our end to give the inputs, so that is not a problem. Sir,
Why can't we have one workshop?
Yes,
And
yes.
I'll get it done. For every one of us.
Yes, workshop can be done.
Give me some time, maybe 2 weeks.
Please sir.
We'll get the external person and then give it online.
Aina is good in that. AI is good. They do lots of workshops and case studies.
SCFA University, they are very good.
Yes, ma'am. 10 points.
Local. Martin sir.
Next criteria.
Good evening, Father. Good evening, dear colleagues. So, plan of action, we write it in the rough word, Father. Tomorrow we'll try to submit in the word format, the comparative format, in the proper structure. So, our criteria is criteria 7, industry and international connect, which carries 130 marks. The first criteria 7.1, which carries 90 marks, which talks about consultancy work from the industry connect. So consultancy work, we need to get the consultancy work from the industries. For that we need the support from the SJC consultancy team. So SJC consultancy team, we require the support. We'll also give you the kind of information you require, kind of the membership format, budget format, the policy format, and all these things are required when it comes to consultancy work. Whether it is a collaborative consultancy, whether it is an individual consultancy, all these things we need to record, we need to have the proper documentation. So all these things we need to work. And the consultancy, at the levels also Madam was presented earlier, the kind of the criteria, lakhs, number of rupees, the budget criteria Madam was, accordingly we need to work. Here we need support from the consultancy. So for these actually we need to develop the policies, MOUs, membership documentation, okay, all these guidelines we need to develop.
More budget, more marks we are getting.
Yes, for this we are planning to sit with the consultancy team to give more inputs. So what are the required documents they need to maintain and they need to develop. So we'll sit together and we'll also come back to you with the proper performer. The second one, 7.1.2, faculty as a consultant of the industries. Here also we seek consultancy teams strong support. At least monthly, 3 or 4, if we can do it, at least by the day of submission we can meet something around 50 or 40. So that definitely required, which carries the 15 marks. So for this, we develop, we discuss, faculty profiles need to be developed, and we need to develop the, what you can say, faculty profile book, their core areas and faculty profile books. In the modern areas, we need to design with proper certifications. It can be a small certification or the long run certification, whatever it may be. All these things we need to strong profile documentation, book should be maintained. Apart from that, what happened? These things we need to promote in chapters, Hyderabad chapter, management chapter, business management chapter, analytic chapter, chapters are there. We need to promote this. And also kind of the industry forums also there. All India Textile Forum, you understand, kind of the forums we need to approach. We have to promote this kind of the industry profiles. The profile book need to be maintained. That is what is required. And also research organizations also, as I already mentioned earlier, IMRB, Nielsen, these companies also we need to approach with the profile book. Okay, that we need to approach and promote. Here we seek the strong support of the SJC consultancy team, the consultancy team. We sit together and we'll come back. Initiative related to industry interaction, including industry internship, summer training and study tours and guest lectures. Here, 3 committees are important. Placement committee, as already we are working, we are restructuring the placement process, internship process.
You didn't mention about the committees. Committees that require with your
మాకు రీసెర్చ్ అండ్ ఎఫ్డిపి సెల్ ఇస్ ఇనఫ్
ఒక దగ్గర ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ వచ్చింది ఫాదర్, మన థర్డ్ క్రైటీరియాతోని వెబ్సైట్ దాంతో అక్కడే వచ్చింది. మిగతాది ఇండిపెండెంట్లీ హ్యాండిల్ చేయొచ్చు. Yes.
For the 7.1.3, initiative related to industry interaction, including industry internship, summer training, study tours and guest lectures. Here we required 4 teams we required. One is guest lecture team. Guest lecture team will sit, how to document the procedure. We are doing in the right way, the way we are promoting the flyers and all. Apart from that, the documentation process also, which we require, and definitely we need to collect the feedback from the students as well as from the speaker. So that also we need to maintain. Even faculty support also, because faculty feedback also very, very important. It's called as the expert support, expert feedback also. Because the faculties of the people who stand between the industry, people and the students. So we are the people. So 3 things we need to have a model, feedback model and feedback system we need to develop. So that we can project, that will be a USP. Generally what happened is NBAs or any accreditation, they'll see what are the innovative practices. We need to present, we need to do in an innovative way. How we are doing differently from the other institutions are very, very important. So that is what actually which is going to impress the accreditation bodies and these people. So here we require project committee also. Seriously we need to plan project committee, internship committee, placement committee. All the committees need to sit together and we need to plan all the certifications. Everywhere what happens, certification is the proof. And if the student is doing an internship, as father rightly guided us earlier, we need to collect the feedback of the companies also, where the student is doing internship under the external guide of the company, as an internal guide of the company, everywhere. Because always, I believe TV Rao's 360-degree appraisal model, we need to maintain this kind of the 360-degree appraisal model from each and every possible area, so that it is going to help. So tomorrow if someone will point to the accreditation body also, we can project. Always these people will like the projection of this particular data in the form of graphical representation, pictorial representation. That is what very, very important. Here we need all the participation of 4 teams. 7.1.4, participation of industry professionals in curriculum development, projects, assignments as an examiners and summer project. So this is we are doing some extent because we already have the bodies. industry interaction committee we already framed as earlier. We have done with the one chapter, one series, okay, last year, but still we are planning to continue. But every year if we can have the mix, the blend of, you understand, experienced and the new people, so that we can grow well, you know, because last year we know Krishna Kochappa from, you understand, exactly signed up the SEMA and SDLC experience, and similarly, you know, our professors Vidyadhar Reddy, known people, and also we need to explore the new people also, so that we will get, you know, more new inputs, so that is the way we grow. So that's what we need to explore here, industry curriculum development. Also we need to have a partnership with the private institutions also, because we are limited, our curriculum is limited and defined, because as per the autonomy also 20% every year we have the relaxation. But we have to sit with private universities also. Private universities like, you know, we have the universities, Narsi Monji, example, I am just giving. So this kind of institution, because whereas their headquarters is one particular city and they are also expanded to the different states also. So they have a greater exposure comparing to us, whereas we are limited to the, because our college considered the Tier 3 college. Tier 2 is the B school and Tier 1 is the premium institutions. So Tier 4 is the all the affiliated colleges. So we consider the Tier 3, but we need to, you understand, go to the Tier 2, we need to match. So that actually we can have the collaboration. Everything, what happened, collaborative projects, most of the collaborative projects only they are doing, all the institutions. Because, you know, the colleges like us, now we want to be introduced to the market, we need to explore, we need to establish, means we need to tie up with the institution. That is what very, very important. So need to have the meeting with the industry academy and meet, and we need to frame the policies, we need to frame the guidelines, we need to develop the system. We are taking the industry internship discussion only. We are not conducting the review. Review also we need to do it, and review process also very, very important. It should be in a cycle. Planning, implementation and controlling. It should be in a cycle process. We need to have at least, you know, yearly 3 meetings. So first, the beginning of the semester, academic year, planning the activities, what are the new innovative, so what we need to explore in the new ways, and that you need to be implemented. After that, the implementation part also, certain kind of the suggestions we have to take. Then later what happened, kind of the feedback also we need to take it. So this kind of the report we can maintain, so that is going to help. Most of the institutions are doing this, so that's what, you know, our academic council and GB also, all the universities will tell to have at least 2 to 3 meetings also. You know, that is the reason. We need to maintain all the documentation, communication letters and the guidelines need to be sent. Still we need to work, we need to have the structure of this industry academy committee. We need to have a body, we need to design the body, including all the faculty members. That will be, faculty is called as the members of the industry academy meet. Industry academy meet chairman, vice chairman, kind of the statutory body, you know, we need to develop and design, so that most of the people are doing this for. We'll submit in tomorrow further with the structured, yeah. So initiative related to industry, including executive education, industry sponsorship labs, and industry sponsorship of the student activities. Absolutely, here we require the extensive support of CSR team, corporate social responsibility team. They need to explore the companies like Microsoft, HCL, Wipro, these kind of the companies as a part of the CSR activity. They're sponsoring a lot of labs and all. If you are really because if you have the very good rankings, you know, every year we are applying to a lot of rankings also. So with that particular, you know, applause, you understand, we can reach the companies and we can project ourselves, you know, strongly. This CSR company need to concentrate what CSR activities. CSR means, you know, not only college is doing outside, also collaboratively. As I already pointed when I was presenting earlier, collaborative projects also, as well established companies also we can reach. We can reach, and we can also start center, you know, how the company, Malaysia's company, how they are planning Microsoft center. Similarly, we can also directly approach the companies and we can do it further. For this, we need to identify, we need to do the research. Some of the companies I identified, Microsoft, there's the CSR, under that, you know, they're sponsoring certain kind of the labs. Sponsoring to the students also who are economically poor. Ajit Premji institution is offering a lot of, you understand, what is this, scholarship also for the students who are economically poor. If the principal can forward the letter along with the student. Student will be conducted a minimum entry level examination. After that, based on the student performance and interest, they will offer it. So this we need to explore. These are going to give lot of values to us. This we need to design the structure and the documents, whatever is required, we need to process.
We will focus on executive programs also.
Shivnada Foundation.
I'm sorry, sir?
Shivnada Foundation.
There's a lot of foundations are there where, as a part of CSR, they are doing. And also, immediately it's not possible for us to start the PGDM evening course or something. At least we need to take the support of the Usmania Parent University collaboratively. If the Usmania is going to agree, register something, we can offer evening certificate short-term programs, as well as Father also suggested day before yesterday to start the online learning, Joseph Online Learning Center also. So that also each and every faculty can develop the design, the profile, and they can have the 10 hours certification program like positive thinking, goal setting, certain kind of the areas we can design, and with our profile, you understand, with the college, clerks, you understand kind of the structure, course structure, hours, number of hours. This will also help us because we can reach to intermediate colleges and degree colleges. It will also increase our brand, you understand, brand value also outside. So these things also we can plan, we need to design this.
An executive program also we can do, as we have many PhDs, we can start an executive program also we can start.
So all the PhD candidates, if they can come up with like an MDP, 4 or 5 days MDP, each and every person integrated module for industry requirement, something like that. We have the professors here in the marketing, HR, assistant, associate, all the professors are there who are the well qualified PhDs and UGC net people also there. All people integrated model, like a team teaching. So like I tell you with your permission one example, brother. I attended long back 2007 one of the activity, this kind of the pedagogy AICT sponsored program conducted for the faculty development program by the IP Usmania University, 7 days program, marketing pedagogy. I was really surprised. IT, finance, HR, all faculties came. Every 2 hours they came, they spoke something related to marketing, integration with the finance, integration with the marketing, they explore new things. So end of the day, what happened, it was a very good program actually. We can develop MDP, we can approach some of the institutions, industries, where they can take this particular, see there's a more number of the companies also, they're concentrating on these particular things. It's because we have more edge means because we may not charge the premium amount. Like premium institution. Yesterday I received a call from IIM Kozhikode. I just sent the inquiry code. Marketing analytics, 1,70,000 rupees, where they are going to give the support from the banks also. Now, why can't you develop with 50,000 bucks or 30,000 bucks or 10,000 bucks at least? Because return on investment model, no profit, no gain. You understand? Certain kind of things. Initial days, we should be introduced. This kind of activities we need to do in the proper documentation. This is what. We need to do it further. 7.1.6 involvement of industry professionals as the members of academic bodies and boards. It's already there, but still further with the help of the father also we already have the members. We need to frame the bodies. We need to implement and execute. We need to frame the policies also, guidelines also. What are the roles and responsibilities of the people, and what is an output? The why we are working on this, the system we need to develop so that it should be very clear. And moreover, these all things, most of the topmost premier institutions, they are represented in the flowchart format. They are written in the pseudocode and the flowchart. Pseudocode is nothing but the logical terminology they use, written in the pseudocode format, and easy understanding level, they represented the pictorial with the help of the flowchart design. So this is about the 90 marks industry connect, and which is completely new to us, international connect. We need to explore, we need to work hard. We need to work hard for here, MOU partnerships and effective implementation, student exchange program, faculty exchange program, collaborative research programs. For this, though the university is in infant stage, though the university in the established, they won't help us because these are the USPs of the companies. For all these 4 points, 7.2.1 to 7.2.4, I suggest the better, very smart way to reach the industrial connect, all the consultancies, abroad consultancies. These consultancies we should have the tie-up. So these very smart way, because let us take, Anurag University is there, because they are new to the market. Usmania University is also, they have the criteria, because they don't want to give the contact details to us. In that particular case, very smart way, win-win situation, we can approach all the abroad, Y-axis, you understand, Canon consultancy. Kind of the consultancies we can reach, these consultancies generally what happens, they want to brand to our UG students. It doesn't matter because students want to go to abroad, let us take 30% and 20%, if they want to go, they approach. The other students, see, with that collaboration, what happened, these people are going to help us, they'll introduce to the universities, foreign universities. With that foreign universities, we can make this very good relationship. This is a smart way where we can have the individual partnership with these universities, those people who come to deliver the lectures to the institutions, you understand, with them, we can have the proper thing for this, we need to work on this. This is a very smart way of form. Because no university, no institution will give that is their USP. When we have the tie-up with Berger University or something, Dhaka International University, why we are supposed to give to the other university? They will become our competitor. There is no uniqueness. Because of that, no institution, university, they are not coming forward to give this. Very smart way, most of the universities are doing, they have the plan this for the consultancies.
Engineering colleges, if you see Y-axis consultancy, all is
excellent consultancy. Y-axis and the Canon. Canon is having Canada-based institutions, and Y-axis is having the Canada as well as Australia. Similarly, if we can abroad, we can identify some of the consultancies. We can also have the tie with the IDP.
IDP is there.
IDP is there. So many.
French, German, most of them, yes.
Some of them have contract for international conference.
Yes, sir. I brought first international conference. I brought 1,30,000 rupees also. They gave. So this is what from our end I present structured way. We sit together and listen. Thank you, Father.
Other infrastructure should be like with your permission. Most of the decision making what do we need to use?
Good evening, Father.
4:30, I think we'll wind up.
Okay, Father. Thank you. No, it's okay. Father will reply.
How many are yet to complete? Only one.
310.
310. We will take it in time, brother. We'll have tomorrow.
10 we don't have any.
10 ఇప్పుడు సార్ వస్తాను మ్యామ్ కళ్యాణ్ సార్ రేపు కాదు 10 ఇవన్నీ ఫుడ్ టుగెదర్ కదా అవును ఇవన్నీ చేసి దీంట్లో ఉన్న వాటి పోతే 10 minutes ఉంటుంది చెప్పింది
Resume.